What's going on, everyone? So one of the things that I've talked about heavily this season, and more so recently, is the lack of defense from the Lakers, right? Offensively, the Lakers have been fantastic. Since moving Rui into the starting unit, the Lakers have been one of the best offensive teams in the league, second in total points. They're first in offensive rating, right? Even three-point shooting. They're like third in threes since the All-Star break. They're in eighth, I believe, for the entirety of the season, which isn't that far-fetched, right? Talked about it heavily going into the season. I was like, look, D'Lo was a almost 42% three-point shooter last year. Austin Reeves, 40%. Taurean Prince is a guy that'd be 38 to 40%. Gabe Vincent's a guy that'd be 38 to 40%. When we got Christian Wood, I was like, there's another guy that'd be 38%. Kind of go down the list and you're like, oh man, you got a bunch of guys that can really shoot and put the ball in the hoop. The big question, again, this is the offseason, big question was LeBron James. Like, what would LeBron look like if he's shooting 32% and taking 7-8 attempts like he was last year? And you're probably not going to be great. But he has taken 5.5 attempts and he's shooting 40.5% from three-point range. That's huge, right? So the Lakers have been good in that regard. But the defensive side, they've really struggled. And you've seen now on multiple occasions against these better offensive teams that when the Lakers offense goes stagnant, they're helpless out there. Great example was the more recent Sacramento game, right? They had literal 5-minute stretches where they just could not score the basketball. And Sacramento just kept scoring because we don't have the things necessary to stop opposing teams with the starting five and just the personnel that we have. Now, part of that is, as I just said, the personnel that we have. You're missing Gabe Vincent, who, when he returns, should help in that regard as a point of attack, 3-and-D style guard. Jared Vanderbilt, obviously. He covers so much ground for the Lakers, is so important, so invaluable for the Lakers. It's ridiculous. So when he gets back, Lakers defense should skyrocket. Cam Reddish, though he's been back, he's kind of been in and out of the lineup. Like one game he plays, one game he hasn't. Once he gets back, gets situated, gets stable, Max Christie's back, but his minutes can be inconsistent. The hope is once everybody gets back, gets healthy, then we'll be in a position to where it's like, okay, maybe now we can start picking up the defense. But it's also balance, right? Like a big problem that the Lakers have is the lack of athleticism out on the perimeter with D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. That doesn't help. It's also one of the problems with the rebounding, right? Lakers' lack of rebounding. It's because all the long balls, you just don't have the foot speed to go and catch that. But we'll save that for another day. As far as the defensive side of things go, you just don't have the personnel out on the perimeter to where teams are just torching us out there, right? But a big problem, and this falls on Darvin Ham, because, again, he's the head coach. He is the orchestrator. He's supposed to be the defensive-minded guy, right? He was good last year at coming up with defense schemes. Even when we were, undersized and terrible, we were actually pretty decent defensively. But this year, we've just been atrocious. And a lot of it is just the defensive schemes that we're playing. All the constant drop coverage against all these top three-point shooting teams. Make it make sense for me, please. But more than anything, right, it's the constant overhelping. That drives me insane. And the beauty of having a guy like Anthony Davis is you don't have to do that. That's what makes Anthony Davis so great. Anthony Davis is one of the few players in the NBA and ever where he covers so much ground in and of itself. And a lot of the reason the Lakers are constantly getting beat on the defensive side is the over-helping. Anthony Davis has even expressed this and has even talked about the frustrations he has with some of the defensive sets and things like that. Because he knows the player he is. He knows how much ground he can cover. He knows what he is capable of doing on the defensive side, being able to keep things in front of him, being able to recover. He understands positioning and timing, right? He has situational awareness, right? But when he's there and he's one-on-one defending somebody and then you collapse two guys, we don't have the athleticism and the foot speed to make up for that. So what happens is You play a guy like Sabonis, right? Or Jokic, teams that have been killing us because they have playmaking big men. What happens is they get it on the block in the post, right? Anthony Davis is one-on-one. Instead of letting him just go one-on-one and living with the matchup, they decide to collapse, and you have LeBron or you have Reeves or you have D'Lo or whatever, and then they just simply go. And the problem is D'Lo doesn't have the foot speed to collapse and then recover and get back to make the contest because they're not quick. Rui, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves are not quick enough to contest. So instead of, right, playing a zone, if you want to do that, fine, but then don't overhelp. Just play the zone and trust Anthony Davis to have your back because it's Anthony Davis, arguably, if not the best defensive player in the league. And on top of that, when you are playing coverage, then let it be. Stop overhelping. If somebody is like, let's say Jokic is becoming a huge problem and it's like he's just dominating, he's got 30, like, okay, then make the adjustment and make the correction to try to fix it, right? But to just like, it's like every team we play, it's drop coverage, it's overhelping, and it's not, again, it's, in my opinion, Darvin Ham's lack of understanding the personnel. It's lack of situational awareness with this current roster. When you have Jared Vanderbilt, you can do those things and you can get away with it. Why? Because Jared Vanderbilt is excellent at getting back and recovering. So Jared Vanderbilt, which we see all the time, at times looks like he's teleporting out there. He's Goku, just full on. He's everywhere, right? You see, he's on the weak side, and then he's on the strong side, and then he's down on the block, and then he's back to the top of the key, and then he's back on the block, and then he's blocking the shot, and you're just like, dude, how is this guy doing this? Because he has the foot speed, he has the situational awareness, he covers so much ground. So what he can do is when he's playing the three, he can come and help Anthony Davis as the help defender, and then when that kick out happens, he's quick enough to chase the guy off the three-point line or get out and contest the shot and use his size and his length. And then if the guy tries to run off the three-point line, he's still quick enough, long enough, skilled enough to shift and still maintain and stay in front of the guy. We don't have anybody else named Jared Vanderbilt. So why are we operating our defense schemes as if we do? Instead of constantly overhelping and constantly playing drop coverage against great offensive players, right? Like, why not just play basic, simple defense and trust your best defensive player? Trust Anthony Davis. You don't have the athleticism out on the perimeter. You don't. You don't have the skill positions out on the perimeter to help with the defensive schemes that you're trying to run. It doesn't take a basketball mind. It doesn't take some guru. It doesn't take a YouTuber. It doesn't take anything to figure that out. You could be the most casual sports person. You could think that you're watching soccer and you'd be like, why are they playing defense that way? That's really weird. Like, it is the most bizarre thing in the world to me, the way that the Lakers operate on the defensive side of the ball. And to me, that is on Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham is the head coach. He is coming up with the defensive schemes. He is running and operating as if we have the pieces to do so, right? Last year, he did a lot of the same stuff, but you had guys like Dennis Schroeder, Jared Vanderbilt, right? You had defensive pieces that could do that. You had a quick point of attack, good recovery type of point guard that you could put out there to do that. You had Jared Vanderbilt, who, again, covers so much ground. There's a reason we went from middle of the pack defensively to literally the best defensive team in the league when we got Jared Vanderbilt, because he covers so much ground that when you are playing drop coverage and when you are overhelping and you are doing the things that the Lakers seem to love to do, you can sort of supplement that and mask it because you have personnel like a Dennis Schroeder, like a Jared Vanderbilt who can, yes, they can go and be the help, but then immediately get back and put themselves in a position to actually play some defense. It's a problem, and it's frustrating, and I don't know why Darvin Ham hasn't corrected it yet. But I just wanted to vent, talk about this, and get down to the defensive schemes. Now, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Feel the same way I do? Frustrating you? Do you have any suggestions? Love to hear it. Right? Like me and Darvin Ham are buddies or something. I wish I could call him and be like, dude, stop. Like, this is what you need to do. Right? But it's neither here nor there. Again, I appreciate you guys. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Now subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.